I'm from Windermere Lake Cruises. We are one of England's top 10 paid-for visitor attractions. We're number 5. We carried 1.61 million passengers in 2017, and that's an increase from 1.58 in 2016. Over 25% of those passengers are from overseas, so the overseas market is really, really important to us. And of those markets, the largest market was China, and then Japan, other Southeast Asian countries, Europe, the US and Australasia. However, China is the largest market, the largest growing market, and we only see that set to continue. We operate 364 days of the year. The only day we don't operate is Christmas Day, and as many international visitors are now travelling at Christmas time, that may set to change. What I'm here to talk about today, though, is collaborative working together with other businesses, with other attractions to market the whole area. I would love to think that people from China would come to the Lake District just to go on a boat, but I know that's not true. So we have to create itineraries, work with other attractions and hotels, and give tour operators an easy thing to do when visiting England and the North West. 20 years ago in the Lake District, we set up a Japan forum. A lot of businesses got together to work together to highlight the Lake District. Now, Japan has got a great relationship with the Lake District, but that's taken 20 years. 3 years ago, we saw a huge increase in Chinese visitors to the Lake District, and we wanted to harness those and improve on that. So 10 businesses got together and created the Lake District China Forum, a group of businesses all working to introduce the Lake District to Chinese visitors and attract more Chinese visitors. So that's Windermere. That's England's largest lake. It's 10.5 miles long, so not like any of the rivers you've just heard about, but we're proud of it. And these are the different businesses working with us to promote the Lake District China Forum. I'm here representing Windermere Lake Cruises, but if any of you have any questions about any of the other businesses, we do work collaboratively, we do work together, and I'd be very happy to talk to you about them. They're just a few of the attractions in the area. So as well as lake cruises, we have, you see there, the mini coach tours, which take guests in and around the Lake District, gets them to places that the larger coaches can't. Peter Rabbit, the famous bunny there on the right-hand side. Later this year, there's a Peter Rabbit film coming out, which we think, again, is going to really highlight the Lake District to international visitors. And there, again, are the businesses that we work with. You may know some of those businesses already. So when we're attracting international trade, I first have to know who our competitors are. Is it local attractions? Is it some of the businesses I just mentioned there? Is it other attractions within our county? Is it other counties? Should we be looking to stop people going to Manchester or Liverpool? Or is it other regions? Is the south a competitor to the north? Or is it other countries? Is it Germany? Is it Spain? Is it France that are our competitors? Or is it other continents? What we want to do is work together with all of these people to create partnerships, to bring people, yes, to Windermere, but they first of all then have to come to the Lake District, they have to come to Cumbria, they have to come to the north of England, they have to come to England, and then they have to come to Europe. So it's working together to make sure that happens. And this is how we do it. So, as I said earlier, to encourage visitors from overseas to sail with us, with Windermere Lake Cruises, we have to get them to come to our destination. And as well as collaboration with other attractions, we have to collaborate with other tourism bodies. So Marketing Manchester and Visit Liverpool are 2 close DMOs that we work with to create great itineraries into the north of England. We now have direct flights into the north of England as well. So Hainan fly into Manchester, Cathay Pacific fly from Hong Kong into Manchester, and we have a few US flights into Manchester as well. It's great to ensure that Manchester is the gateway to the north of England. There are also other China forums throughout the UK. There's the Manchester China Forum and the North East China Forum. So we're working together with them to really enhance what the north of England has to offer. In 2017, Marketing Manchester had a £450 million campaign to target the Chinese market. Now, as a tourist attraction, we don't have a budget of anywhere near that, but we wanted to work with Marketing Manchester. So we asked our local enterprise partnership for some funding, and we asked them to give us some money to help make the Lake District a destination partner with Marketing Manchester. Our LEP gave us that money and we were able to work with Marketing Manchester. As you can see there, some of the other businesses and some of the other destinations that we worked with, Marketing Liverpool, Visit Leeds, Visit York, Marketing Cheshire and the Peak District, all working together to create the Great North itinerary. We do have other close relationships as well as just the ones in the north, so we work very closely with Visit Britain and Visit England and other DMOs, and a lot of other airlines as well. There are some airlines that fly into London but fly out of Manchester, and that's really important to us, and that's really important for tour itineraries that aren't doing the whole of the UK and they're coming in one and out of the other. And there are just a few partnerships and businesses who we're working with. You'll see Manchester United there. I met with Manchester United a few weeks ago, and we are looking to put an itinerary together to bring in tours to Manchester United, to have a corporate box, watch the game, then come up to Windermere, have a private cruise on the lake, and then a private dining experience. It's just the multi-city attractions that we're doing. And if you can see on the bottom right-hand side, Alnwick Castle. Well, Alnwick Castle is the home of Harry Potter. We have Beatrix Potter and Peter Rabbit, so we're looking to create a Potter-to-Potter tour. So we're hoping that'll be interesting. And the Beatles story in Liverpool, which is a World Heritage Site. I'll tell you about how proud I am about World Heritage in a minute, but we're looking to do multi-city World Heritage tours. This is just some of the information and literature that we've had promoted. We use this to attract independent travellers. So the one on the top there goes in all the local B&Bs throughout the county, and the information at the bottom here is sent out to tour operators throughout the whole of China. When we started working with the Chinese market, we first of all had to understand it. Now, 3-4 years ago, I didn't know that Facebook didn't exist in China. I didn't know that you couldn't Google anything, and I didn't know that Twitter wouldn't work. So it was a shock for me when I first started working in this market. I quickly learned about Weibo and WeChat, and now I use it daily to communicate with operators in China and to communicate with my friends as well. And we have our own Weibo and WeChat. And I just had to get that boat picture in there again, and that's even smaller, so I'm sorry. We do a lot of communication on our social media platforms now. We communicate a lot with travellers that are in China, not yet here, and also travellers that have yet to come into the UK. We understand how important relationships are, and it's all about partnership working and relationships. But to build those relationships, we've worked hard and we've gone out to China as a group, as individuals. We've done lots of travel trade events. We always host media. We'll always host fam trips. We'll always put itineraries together. However weird and wonderful an operator wants to see, we can do that. I was recently asked to put a fam trip together, and one of the operators asked if I could find out where the duck herding was. And I found it. Cumbria does have a duck herding activity, so the fam trip went there, and they really enjoyed it. These are just some of the events that we've been to as a forum, as businesses. The Visit Britain missions to Guangzhou, Shanghai and Beijing, the networking events, ITB Shanghai last year, Venice this year, ITB Berlin and hopefully Beijing later this year. And that's us again out in China, here in London or here in the Lake District. We do know that sometimes businesses can't get to the Lake District, so we will take the whole of the Lake District down to London. We will host an event in London and we will invite London-based tour operators to come and see us. And again, just a few other little pictures and images of us and the work we do. As well as working with other attractions, with other businesses, with other hotels, it's working with the likes of ETOA and UK Inbound, because these are the businesses that can help link us with tour operators, help link us with other attractions or with other DMOs to help build these partnerships and build these itineraries. and UNESCO World Heritage status. So July of last year, the Lake District National Park was awarded UNESCO World Heritage status, of which it's taken us 15 years to achieve, and a lot of hard work and a stack of paperwork about that high. So we partied that night. But what's really important about World Heritage status for us as a Lake District is it really does elevate the Lake District on an international stage. When I've been out working overseas and working in China and talking about World Heritage status, so many businesses and so many operators have said how important it is to them and to the customers to visit World Heritage sites. What we're looking to do going forward now is to build on that. We're looking to link with other World Heritage cities in the UK to do World Heritage tours of the UK, but then link to other World Heritage sites around Europe and really use that message as a key itinerary for that group. This is just a few reasons why the Lake District received World Heritage status. And as you can see, it really is a stunning, stunning landscape. Partnerships, again, important. I put this slide in to see if I had enough time to tell, and I do, so I can carry on with this one now. 2016 saw the first flight from Hainan, Beijing to Manchester. We'd been working with Hainan Airways and Marketing Manchester Airport for almost a year in preparation of this flight. And as a destination partner to Manchester, we really wanted to be there on the first flight. Marketing Manchester said, yes, come along, promote the Lake District, because they saw how important it was for city and countryside to work together. They said it's the first flight, there will be the president of Hainan, lots of important people on that flight, we need to make it a good party, so we're going to offer everybody a glass of Bucks Fizz when they get off the plane. I said, well, Bucks Fizz isn't English, how's that going to go down? We need something that's typically English. We have a distillery in the Lake District, the Lakes Distillery, that make their own gin and whiskey. Why don't we offer everybody a gin and tonic? To which Marketing Manchester said, yes, Jen, but it's 6 a.m. in the morning. So I got a few funny looks, but I pushed along and said, we really must do this. And as the president of Hainan got off the plane, I handed him a gin and tonic. He downed it, and everybody else did. So it went down a treat. So just goes to show gin and tonic goes down well at any time of the day. Plans for 2018 will carry on what we're doing. What we're wanting to do, though, going forward, is create a wider variety of experiences in the Lake District. We don't want it to be just 10 businesses working together. We want more businesses to start working with us. We want to put lots of different itineraries together, lots of different options, and now lots of different experiences. We want people to go duck herding. We want people to learn how to drive a boat. We want people to go and see the cheesemakers or the gin distilleries, because going forward, we know that that's what tourists are now wanting. In the Lake District, we have a few high adventure courses which have been really, really popular for the younger demographic of traveller. So we want to build on the foundations that are already well established by the English Lake District, but we want to carry on widening them and widen the appeal of the Lake District. We don't want people just to come and spend 2 or 3 hours in the Lake District. We want to encourage the overnight visits to the Lake District, the 2-night visits, the 3-night visits. We're seeing that increase slowly now, and with more and more hotels in the Lake District, a better offering of hotels in the Lake District, we can achieve that. What we also want to do is promote the Lake District as a 365-day-a-year destination. As you can see there, I've picked some nice shots with blue sky. It does rain every now and again in the Lake District, but each season in the Lake District is beautiful. We operate 364 days of the year. All of our vessels are heated. All of our boats have bars on them, serving tea, coffee, hot water. There's all toilets on all the boats, and it ranges from a 30-minute cruise to a 45-minute cruise to a full-day cruise, dependent on what's wanted. But we just want to stress that it is an all-year-round destination. And I think I've finished ahead of schedule to claw back them few minutes.